Back to the channel Conscious Dojo. My name is Piotr and I am your hypnotherapist in training, reflexologist and Reiki Master, remote viewer and tarot card reader. I hope you can enjoy today's video. Someone sent me an email asking how do spirits or ghosts show up to me? How do I do all of those visions? It all pretty much started where promptly developing after the stabbing incident back in 2010, December 2010. I was at the time I was working as a emergency service person, and I was just, if I could say so, unfortunate, or maybe fortunate for my future development. That's how I found Reiki, you know. And EFT. And yes, I was a victim of someone's anger and path of destruction, how I call it. And yes, I got stabbed not once but twice, 8 centimeters to the front and 16 centimeters to the back with a knife. It was a pretty coolest experience in terms of physicality, you know, but at the same time it built me up majorly on a spiritual level. In the description of this video, you've got you have the link to Sky News and BBC News, so if you want to check it out, you feel free to do that, and you've got more information in there about what exactly happened to me. But in terms of today's video, on that day, something really profound has happened to me, you know. I have seen this light being type of a woman who was standing in front of me. Was she real or was she just a fiction, you know, just an imaginary picture of which my head just created, my mind created, you know. I know the truth, and people who I work with now on a spiritual level help me with establishing that it is a truth, you know. Yes, I've got my outside of YouTube and hypnotherapy, etc. I've got my own company, CircleOfPeace.uk, here in Great Britain, and I try to help people as much as I can on a spiritual level and physical level, because pretty much everything what happens to you on a physical level has the beginning in here, in your mind, okay, and on the energetical level, frequency. Now, I have experienced energies and frequencies and this sort of spiritual life for many years, okay, since I was a child, a kid, okay. Now, you've got sort of, in my opinion, you've got 3 ways of seeing energies, okay, physically, okay, in your dreams, and through certain tools like Reiki, reflexology, meditation, hypnotherapy, regression, but that goes quite together with hypnotherapy, okay. And so in terms of physically, which is actually that story is quite connected to the Reiki as well. I was with my sister about 10 years ago. I was doing Reiki on her, so I've done the first position on the front of the face, second around the ears, and then I went underneath her head, and then suddenly this black cat appeared in front of me on the left side, just next to the window. It looked at me, jumped off the window, straight on my sister, ran through my sister, underneath my legs, underneath my chair, and then just vanished behind me. In my opinion, he should hit the wall. He didn't. He just went through the wall, basically. Okay, and then just vanished. Yes, I was a bit shocked. Okay, it was one of my first experiences during the Reiki with this sort of stuff. My sister, after we finished the whole session, I asked my sister, so could you see anything or could you feel anything? And she said to me, yeah, it's very strange. I could sense Cedric. Mind you, Cedric was dead for about 7, 8, maybe even 9 years. prior to that Reiki session, and she said that yeah, I could feel him straight, like he's sitting on my chest, and then he jumped away, went somewhere. So that's the first story, okay? So yes, if you will go in that state of mind and you will change your frequency of your brain, okay, and you will sort of blank the physical matter, yes, you can start to sense or even see the other presence in the rooms, in all around you, okay? It's a fact, okay? Now, the second story, dreams. I've got loads of them, and I'll try to recap, and I'll try to tell you loads of those. But one of them, which was very profound for me personally, was the dream with my grandmother. Okay, and the information which she had to my mum. So I was asleep, and I suddenly just like woke up in that dream in the middle of my parents' garden. And my granny was at the time, she made a transition for like many years prior to that happening. But my nan just showed up to me, and she hugged me. She said that it's very nice to see you again. I love you. I love the fact with what you've done with my room, that you've moved stuff around, and yes, we've done a bit of a redecoration. Okay. But then she said to me, like, oh, say mom that I love her very much, and I was just thinking, like, because she was gonna have today quite bad mood. Can you tell her this story to cheer her up? I was like, in the dream, yeah, sure, why not? What story, Nan? And she said, well, just tell her the story about bees and ants in the bushes, and she will exactly know what I mean. So I went to my mom, and obviously my parents, my dad was alive at the time, and she didn't make the transition yet. And my parents exactly knew that I'm a channeling. I channel energies and spirits, etc. But it was one of the first times when I've actually told her about Nan. And but yeah, so I've told her the story, and my mom, she went very red, and she just bursted into laugh. Like she started just to laugh. And I was like, why are you laughing? It's quite, my mom, she cried straight after, to tell you the truth, and I've cried with her. But she said to me that, oh, that story is the first time when I met your dad, we went to the like riverside, and we cuddled, etc. in those bushes, and Dad sat down on a ants, and there were bees in there as well, and they started to like attack him, and he started to run away, and it was like one of our first sort of encounters together, so that was quite fun. So that's the second story in terms of the dreams. Okay, they yes, spirits and energies can come in your dreams. The next one would be, I mean, I've got loads of them, but the one which I remember recently was after my dad's transition. Again, I'm going to cover my dad's sort of energy and what he showed me, you know, the afterlife and everything else, what he showed me after his transition in a different video, because I've got quite a lot of story to cover. But with Anto, one of the quantum hypnotherapists, she's an amazing person. She's got her own practice in Chiswick and Slough, in London and outside of London. And so she put me into a hypnotherapy kind of experience. And my dad came to the room, okay, and he told me that I could. It's very strange. Like I could physically like sense him in the room. I could even smell his fragrance which he was using. Okay, I could like the when I channel and when I've got energies coming over, I can sense them physically. But what my dad told me is that my dad was atheist, okay, and he didn't believe in afterlife, he didn't believe in energies and etc. Even though he had experiences with ghosts and spirits as well in his life, okay. But my dad told me that, oh, my son, it's very profound of what happened to me. There is this. massive world out there, which you wouldn't believe. And what you told me is exactly truth. So that's what my dad told me, and he said at the end that he loves me very much, and that he's going to make a transition into another body in a different realm soon. Okay, so that's what I was told. I've got those recordings from that hypnotherapy session with Anto, which I'm gonna publicly put on YouTube as well, because there are other major information in there about space, about countries building machine to move in time and space, etc. and stuff. But anyway, so that's the third story, and that's sort of the hypnotherapy kind of story with the spirits. So yes, they can come with a different in different forms, you know. And there was a lot of cases in my life where energies, ghosts alike showed up to me, and it was after they made obviously their transition into unphysical. And I don't know, maybe I just have something open in my head during that experience with the stabbing, or I don't know, or just consciousness, which helps me or helps the energies to contact me. I mean, like, I had very close encounters with death quite a lot in my life, and all of them, they've been pretty much very profound. Is it? Someone asked me as well, like one of my clients asked me, is it scary to see energy? You know, and it's not scary to me. It's rather building on a spiritual level. Okay. Now I know after X amount of years that when we die, our existence doesn't finish. We exist. Okay. We exist always. We always gonna be. Okay. And that's something what we need to realize as a human beings. We are all telepaths, okay, but we just forgotten about it for many years, okay, but we all have this sixth sense, we just need to sort of start to develop it again. And many people who I meet, many Reiki practitioners, Reiki masters, hypnotherapists, meditation teachers, yogis, tarot readers, like I know a lot of them, and all of them, they can say sort of the same thing. We all exist. We never stop. How often does it actually happen that someone have died and we know about it? A lot. I have perfect example from my life, for example. When my nun made a transition, a couple of candles have fell off the table in the next room, and they had no right to do so. Okay, there was no physical sort of possibility in order for them to fell off. It was physically impossible. When, for example, my dad made the transition, the same night, and pretty much at the same time, my uncle and my auntie, who are my dad's brother and sister, had exactly the same experience. They could hear like massive bang to the front door. So again, coincidence. Whereas I don't believe in coincidence. Each coincidence, it's a cooperative incidents, okay? And those are the incidents of the energy and the frequency, okay? We are all connected, remember that. Listen, my friends, I don't have any extra knowledge about afterlife as such, okay? If you go to any tarot readers or anyone who deals with energy readings, etc., and they are saying to you that they don't. It's just none of us has. Yeah, and yes, I was shown certain things, or we are all shown certain things, which I will share in my videos. But is it real? Well, we will not know until we will actually make that step. We will make that transition. There needs to be certain mystery behind it, and that's the reason why we are in here. Do you think you would stick around if you know how incredible and amazing it is after you make a transition? Well, probably not. Am I scared of making a transition? From certain aspects, we all do. If you have like created that, I mean, like if you have created that incredible life, you have, you know, 2 amazing daughters, perfect wife, and just abundance all around you. Would you like to go? Well, probably not. You would like to stick around. But all that you get, the more you think about the life, what you have done, and what you have gathered in terms of not only physical possession, but also mentally. Some people ask me if I believe in a death, you know, as a person. No, I don't. More as a feeling, if you created it here on this planet, okay, in a physical way. How do I look at the transition? Think about our experience from a baby's perspective. We are in the mother's womb. We live. It's nice, warm, and we feel safe. We are being treated with certain respect, and we live in that place, and we are born. Then suddenly we are just born. We are in shock. But that's just another adventure, and we have this amnesia. We don't remember most of the times when what happened in our previous lives, and there's a certain reason why, you know. It's the same with the transition after this experience, basically, you know. It's the same thing after we leave this physical body. Going back to the question at the beginning of the video, you know, made by one of you, my friends. How do spirits go show up to me? I see or feel them like they are material parts of this world. You know, everything is frequency, and it's very, very important to remember that. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please do contact me if you've got any other questions. I'm going to be posting much more videos about my experiences with spirits, ghosts, with channeling, with Reiki and hypnotherapy, etc. I love you guys. Thank you very much for today, and I shall speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.